Oh wait, before we talk about it, I gotta get some hummus up in here.
The
Hummus.
Well,
one of the posters was like, "You didn't fulfill your contract with the shooter."
oh
To
my
the
god.
match director.
Whatever.
You have to throw those stages out. Anything that didn't get shot in that day has to be thrown out.
You got plenty of time to get into it, Hopkins. Welcome to the Practical Pistol Show. My name is Ben Steger. I'm here to answer your shooting questions. Here to answer, I don't know, my shooting questions. Tim Herron,
Hey,
Nick
what's up?
Antola, Matt Hopkins.
Hey,
Oh, bam, right down the line. The dream team of, 30-something white dudes. Here to shoot stuff. Okay, let's get into it. Today's topic. It's there's an interesting thread on the Enos forum where the tagline is Level 2, shooting stopped because of rain. So this guy says he's not sure if this should go in the rules or what. He shot a Level 2 match, and before his squad could finish their last stage, the NBA called for all shooting to cease and the shooters to leave the ranges due to a thunderstorm. We had 3 shooters left, me included, that were not allowed to finish the stage. Everyone waited around for an hour before the match was called for the day, and it was getting dark. The option to come back Sunday morning and shoot the stage or receive a DNF was given. Now, here's my question. If I signed up to shoot the whole match Saturday afternoon and was ready and willing to shoot my last stage in the rain, but was denied the opportunity, how can I fairly be given a DNF or 0 for that stage? Returning to shoot on Sunday was not feasible and not during my scheduled shooting time. Should there be another way to resolve a problem like this? I don't think this is addressed in the rule book. Feedback, ? The man says. Tim, what's your reaction to this initially?
Oh my God. If I don't know. You can't control the weather.
But you can't control the match director, man. There's got to be some other way to finish this.
So what you shoot through just the guys that missed out on the days or missed out on the stages they were supposed to shoot the day before?
That's what he offered them. He offered them that though the next day.
Right, but this guy feels that's not good enough for this guy.
Well,
He's saying, I'm here, it's raining, go fuck yourself, I'm ready to shoot. Basically.
Well,
That's not good enough for him.
as a match director, I got to take the safety of the people first. I mean, if lightning is coming straight down or something like that, sorry, we got to shut things down. Here's the option. You can shoot through tomorrow, and the guy says, no, fuck that. Well, sorry then. What am I going to keep everything open till next weekend and hope you can come back next weekend and shoot the remaining stages then and we'll worry about it then? That doesn't work that
He's
way.
ready and willing.
That is crazy. That is a crazy statement.
Antola, what do you think about this thread?
I agree with Tim. I don't understand exactly how they decide when to call a match for a thunderstorm. I've been there when they have, but bottom line is like level 2, in my opinion, that's a big boy match, and if you're there, if they call it, then you got to be prepared to be there the next day, and if you're not, then tough stuff. Come back next time, man.
Shit.
So if they cancel it, if they got to shut it down, they got to shut it down. I mean, they're not going to risk somebody's life for you to finish it on the day that you want to shoot some afternoon, right? So
Exactly.
come back the next day.
Exactly.
Hopkins, what's your initial reaction to this post?
I mean, what do we need a rule for everything? I mean,
No. No.
the match director offered him fair opportunity to come back the next day to shoot him through. I don't know. I'm sorry, dude. You're
Yeah,
fucked.
we can't hold every match indoors or only when the weather is perfect. I mean, sometimes just things are completely out of your control. Sorry. The guy was offered a complete different, an alternative that would have worked, but unfortunately, just that guy, sorry, you want to be selfish, doesn't work for me. Okay. So,
All right, guys.
I'll DNF you on it.
Well, this thread went on for a while. One guy posted, if the range master, in consultation with the match director, deems that climactic or other conditions have or are likely to seriously affect the safety and/or conduct of the match, he may order that all shooting activities be suspended until he issues a resume shooting directive. Now, that's not just some dude posting that on Enos. That's actually what the rules are. That's quoted from the rule book. That's 236. All right, and then he says the resumed shooting directive could only be given the following day. So what some guy comes in and posts, I think this person's local to you, Hopkins. Anyway,
Hold on, let's
no,
same state.
it's not. All right, so if the stage has been rendered unsuitable or unworkable for any reason, he's like highlighting that and says weather conditions that affect the safety of the stage and make it unsafe would apply in this instance. Also, as I said, offering the shooter an option to come back is not an answer. You offered them the option to shoot the match in one day. If you weren't going to honor that, you shouldn't have offered it. Shooters can't be held responsible for acts of God or your short-sightedness as match director.
Oh, match director shouldn't be.
Totally wrong call, in my humble opinion. The stage should have been thrown out, says this person.
The match should have been thrown out then.
The stage.
No, there was probably one stage that everybody got through. It'd have been a one-stage state match.
Right. Well, what I think was interesting about this person says the shooter can't be held responsible for acts of God, but I suppose the match director can. Like, that's fine. I don't know what's the thinking
the match director
God is not responsible, but God damn it, that match director is. Come on.
Dude, I think that's crazy talk. You can't throw out all the stages because one dude or any number of people didn't get to shoot a certain number of stages. So if they had 3 people who have to shoot every single stage, they throw all the stages out.
I think that,
Probably just throw the match out. Fuck it.
yeah.
Take a mulligan on the match. We'll do it again next year.
You're gonna do a redo.
Yeah.
All right.
Think of the money they're going to save on trophies.
Let's play match director for a day. Thunder's rolling in. It's your match. It's going great until God comes in to smite your match. The thunderstorms are coming in. It's towards the end of the day. You got to call a ceasefire, you feel. Put yourself in the match director's shoes. Is there any other way you guys can handle this other than what they did, which is stop shooting, and I guess now it's nighttime, so we're fucked. So, I mean, I guess you can come back tomorrow if you want. Can any of you think of any alternative to that? Anybody?
No, that is the only alternative.
Exactly.
What else is there to do? Are we going to get a bunch of floodlights and wait 4 hours after the thunderstorm goes away? Then wait an hour for them to rebuild the stages if necessary, and then we'll shoot at 1 a.m. under floodlights? Sounds horrible.
Yeah.
So nobody can
come back the next day. If you can't, we're not fucking winning huge amounts of money on this. We're
is-
still doing it for fun.
This is kind of like if I'm telling a child something that they don't want to hear, and they start stomping their feet and shit, and they're like, I get why you're pissed off. Like, I get it. But there's nothing I can do about this. Like, I'm sorry, but I got nothing for you.
Now, this is another situation where I know a lot of people don't like to admit it, but the closest analogy between our sport and a top-level pro sport is first golf, okay? So in situations like this, or virtually any other situation, I always look at what does the PGA do in the situation. And what do? They pack it up, they come back on Monday, okay? That's the only option. That's it. There's nothing else you can do. They're not going to throw out the 18th hole. You're going to pack it up, you're going to come in back on Monday, and you're going to finish the match, or you're not, and that's it. That's
No, they're going to
option.
throw out the 18th hole. They're going to play a 71 hole match.
Yeah, exactly. That's not going to happen. So, it is what it is. There are no other options. You're not guaranteed to shoot the match in a day. Like, where'd that guy get that idea? That's
Because they
what the
offered
schedule
it.
says.
If we
Hey,
put
the
this
match
frickin'
director's
sport
poor
outside.
planning. It's poor planning. It's not my fault.
Say you were scheduled to shoot in a day. That didn't happen. Okay,
That
you
dumb
were not
fucking match
guaranteed to shoot
director
in a day.
let me schedule myself to shoot on Saturday, and I'll be damned if he should have made me schedule it Saturday and maybe Sunday. That's what the
See, that
schedule
shit-
is.
Rules cover
And
it.
since we couldn't get that rule provided for you, then I guess what is it then? Okay, by default, Ben. You know what I mean? I mean, come on, guys.
We could go to the clubhouse and just write down what our times would be.
Tim,
Yeah, I like that.
I don't know any of the players involved in this thread, but I can assure you
Yeah.
None of them were in contention for winning anything.
Oh, hold on. Actually, one was in contention.
In their mind,
To win a class thing?
No, to win the overall. One person was not able to shoot one stage and was in contention for overall.
In what division?
God.
It was in production. It was Brandon
No.
Knight, actually.
No, he was not in contention to win.
He was
Mad props to Brandon. He wasn't going to win.
Which match was this anyway? Apparently, we know which match this was.
Virginia,
yeah.
Maryland,
Virginia,
section.
Maryland.
And it's mathematically impossible that he would have won that match.
You sure?
Yes.
Did you look at it?
Yes.
All right, fine.
I
So
love Brandon.
So a
Don't get
stage
me
win
wrong.
would not have put him
No.
over the top.
What if he put everybody at 30% on that stage?
Then he maybe, I don't know. I didn't run those numbers. I'm sorry.
So technically, everybody else would have had to have like a squib or a gun failure, and Brandon would have had to have won.
They had
Well,
already
right.
shot
And
it.
my point is,
Brandon would have to shoot it in like
and
3
Hopkins, my point was nobody on that thread was in contention to win shit.
Yeah, you're right. I agree with that.
All right. Let's. Does anybody else have anything interesting to say before we move on?
No.
I think we covered it.
Yeah.
Oh man, we covered the fuck out of that. I'll tell you that much. All right, here's a shooting question. I'm pretty new to USPSA, but I've been shooting handguns, including a few IDPA and practical pistol matches. Those are his quotes, not mine. For about 16 years. I shot a club-level USPSA match this past weekend, and I really blew it on a couple of stages. Just one of those days where I couldn't get in the groove. Anyway, I know it happens to everyone, so my question is, if you really fuck something up in a match, do you change anything about the way you practice afterward? More dry fire, more live fire, change up the drills in some way? I feel like this is a really good question for Tim. Why don't you...
You bastard.
Why? What matches Tim fucked up recently?
What
The
has Tim
Single Stack
fucked up
Nationals.
recently?
Yeah,
What hasn't he? Like,
oh, man. God.
boom. Come on, 10 people like that. You're funny.
Honestly, it happens. I mean, if you fuck something up, you fuck something up. I mean, does it completely change my outlook on exactly what my training needs to be? It depends on what I fucked up, honestly. I mean, if it's like, man, I pulled a mic on a no shoot, or I pull off a target too hard or something like that, or during a reload I didn't get my grip established, then yeah, I'll probably work on a little bit more, like making sure that my grip is what it needs to be in dry fire, things like that. But I mean, I don't know. It's tough to say. Do I really think that my dry fire or that my live fire practice needs to change, like say over kind of a piss poor performance at Single Stack Nationals for me? No, because I don't think it had anything to do with my physical training. I think it had to do with just my mental mindset. So training-wise, I don't think I was off base of where I needed to be or what I needed to be. But obviously, mentally, yeah, I've got a lot of work to do. So I don't know. I think it's kind of we talked about the other day, though, holding yourself accountable at local matches. Yeah.
Right.
I mean, you definitely need to hold yourself accountable for things.
I'm with you.
But-
Don't cry,
but does
Tim.
it-
You're okay.
But does
Okay,
it
we're
need to
friends
change
here.
your overall view of, like, oh, shit, I screwed that one thing up, so maybe my training wasn't everything it needed to be?
All
I
right.
don't really think so.
Nick, how do you feel about that? You fuck something up, do you change your training?
Well, I don't think so in general. I mean, I've done it before where I've mic'd something or whatever at a big match that cost me, a spot that I wanted to have, and I've gone out the next couple days and out of frustration shot 400 rounds with that one shot over and over and over. But does it help you really get better? I don't think so. I mean, I don't.
Exactly.
I don't think so. I think your training needs to be balanced, and you're going to do what you're going to do at a match. But if you're confident that your training is taking the direction you need to go, I don't think that one mistake you make in a match is going to impact that realistically.
Hopkins?
I'll kind of go with a different point. If that one mistake is something that can be fixed in training, I think you definitely need to do that. So, I guess an example would be like, if your gun isn't sighted in and you're shooting low or something, you gotta fucking fix that.
All right, well,
Hey,
that's a chronic issue,
Matt,
okay?
I'm
If
always
it's a
saying
chronic
I-
issue, that's a different
I'm
story.
always sitting to the
agree with
left,
that.
Matt. What do you think I should do?
Probably adjust your sight. No, I agree with Nick on that. Is a chronic issue that your overall scheme of your practice, I don't think it should change compared to what you did before that, unless it is something chronic. Like I like that word. I like chronic. Like it's a good way to put it. It's like it's a.
Oh, it's a,
I thought you
The
meant
problem
I thought you
all the
meant
time.
something else. I like me some chronic.
I'm going to Colorado this weekend. So.
I don't think you're allowed to get chronic.
Well, no, I mean, you got to think. I agree with what Matt's saying, but at the same time, it's one of those things where if it was let's say you botched a reload, but every other reload you had was just spot on. Do you really need to change the way you're reloading, or re-examine your reload technique in dry fire and live fire because let's say you screwed up one reload? I don't necessarily think that the training needs to change simply because one mistake happened. You
Yeah,
know?
this guy says he just
I
couldn't
agree
get in
with
the
that.
groove, and it's kind of like, well, I don't know, like go fucking take a nap or something and try again tomorrow. Like,
Right.
I don't know what
I
you
mean,
want me to tell you.
Dude, that
yeah,
guy's
I mean, is every practice the same for everybody? I mean, does everybody just literally walk away from every practice and be like, yeah, fucking rock that? Or is there sometimes you think, like, man, I just wasn't feeling it today? Or even on local match day, man, I just wasn't feeling it today. I mean, I'm sure everybody has that happen to them at some point in time.
I think if you do feel that way at a local, you should use that as a. What if you feel that way at a major? Like try to get yourself out of it, dude. It's a good training point, like a good way to practice that.
You are
What
absolutely
day,
right.
like of a multi-day match, you might get up like that someday.
I-
Just work through it, and that is great training for that. So
I agree. But like I said, as far as a training or as a, let's say it's just a skill level kind of thing, like, oh man, I just, I screwed up a reload or two, or I let off the gun with my support hand too early on this. Obviously, if you can pinpoint what the problem was and you can fix it, do you really need to change your overall scheme of training to fix that? I don't think so. You probably let your mind get in the way of letting the overall just shooting happen.
I agree with that.
Yeah,
Ben,
totally.
your thoughts?
I agree.
My thoughts?
Yeah,
Man,
Yeah.
you guys,
said nothing
you
on
guys
this show.
smashed it. You guys smashed it so hard. But like having a bad day, where you're just like you're not hooking up. You're not feeling good with it. I don't know. You're not going to adjust your training to fix that. If you're fucking up, you're right. The key is this something you do chronically? And there's a lot of people who are a little bit delusional about that, where it's like they're like, man, I never do that. And it's like you practice with them, you're like, dude, you're doing that all the fucking time. What are you talking about? You're pulling off every target. Like, are you crazy? Like, so there's a lot of people are a little bit delusional about their skill level, and that's fine. But that would be something that you'd fix through training. If it's just like having a bad day or making a one-off type of mistake, I wouldn't beat yourself up over that and go change your training. I personally would not. All right, guys? Yeah? Good?
Definitely.
Well, we're going to leave it there. Matt Hopkins, I've got to give you a shout-out, man. HopkinsShooting.com,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
And Tola's on Facebook. Tim Herron is also at HopkinsShooting.com because you guys kind of come. It's like a package deal, right?
Boom.
Like
Damn right it
Master
is.
Blaster.
Yeah. It's like, well, Matt is Batman, and apparently I'm fucking Robin.
Whoa.
Hey, Robin is still technically a superhero.
Hey, I'll take it.
Just saying. All right, and if you have a shooting question you'd like to send to me, head over to benstegger.com, and I'd love to answer it for you.